Hi, I'm Joe Connolly, with a business owner whose products you've probably seen, but not bought, because you buy from his products. Barry Rosenberg of Econoco Store Fixtures and Displays of Nassau County in Long Island. I've known Barry for a while because he's very active in helping other business owners grow their businesses as well through his leading role in the Young Presidents Organization of Long Island. Barry, good to see you again. How are the shipping supplies and product delays affecting your business?
Good morning, Joe. I'm very happy to be here talking to you. To answer your question directly, it is an absolute mess. The supply chain debacle is affecting worldwide global trade, and I don't know any businesses or service people that haven't been affected one way or another by what's going on. Not only in China, but around the world. We truly are a global economy, and the mess that has been created over the past months, either starting with the pandemic, have just caused tremendous havoc in the supply chain.
Are you finding any ways around it, or is there any sign that it's getting better?
Honestly, I have some great contacts in Young Presidents Organization, or YPO as it's known, who are very well connected into the logistics industry. And from what I hear, things will get worse before it gets better. What are we talking about? We're talking about delays in getting product. Throughout the pandemic, there has developed a tremendous demand for consumer products. And because of COVID, that's affected manufacturing in Asia, where factories were closed for months. There are delays in production. The biggest issue that we're facing now is the ocean freight element of the supply chain. Ships are overloaded with containers, and the little guys like us are being squeezed out by the big box stores that need product, particularly for the holiday season. And I'm talking about Costco, Home Depot, Walmart, Amazon, Lowe's, and others.
Barry, so obviously you make products for retailers. So I'm wondering how you've adjusted your inventory. What has changed that you've had to make those adjustments for them?
Well, that's a good question, Neil. Being a part of our business is the commodity business. We carry a line of 2,000 SKUs of stock store fixtures and display products, things that if you walked onto the first floor of Macy's, we're supplying almost all of that. Racks, shelving, sign holders, mannequins, forms, hangers, lots of different products that any retailer would need in order to be a viable retailer. For one reason or another, while I would love to be able to make this in the United States, we have found that making it in China is the most efficient and least cost location to manufacture. So we have been importing these products since the 1950s. Before China, it was South Korea, it was Taiwan, it was Japan. And unfortunately, we have come to rely on China too much, but they are very sophisticated manufacturers. We have looked to sort of hedge our bet by investigating other low-cost manufacturing countries like India, Mexico, Eastern Europe, Myanmar, Vietnam, and others. Inventory is the name of the game today. Having the product for retailers when they want to open a store is key to our business. We carry a huge inventory in our distribution center in northeastern Pennsylvania, and we supply not only chain stores but other wholesalers, big and small, We supply Amazon, we supply Uline, Grainger, MSC, Global Industrial, among other hundreds of store fixture companies around the country. And retailers, when they want to open a store, and I'm talking the independent retailers, they're not willing to wait 3-4 months for a custom-made product. They want off-the-shelf products. And this has been a big challenge with the supply chain issues. We're struggling to get containers on board ocean freight lines that can ship here to New York. This is the biggest problem we're facing. Last October, we paid as little as $3,000 for a 40-foot container box filled with store fixtures. Today, we are paying $23,000. It's really
$3,000 to $23,000.
That's
right?
correct, and we think it's going to go to $30,000. And what's happening is little guys like us are competing with big box chains like Costco, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target for space on these ships, because those companies want their consumer products on the shelves in September, October, and November in time for the holiday season. So what they are doing is they are bidding up the prices, and it really is unfair. The amazing thing that just happened recently that came out in the news is that Home Depot rented their own container ship that will go from China to the Port of Los Angeles, back to China, up and back, just with their products. Now, mind you, these container ships hold anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 containers on one ship. I mean,
So Barry, how are you and the businesses that are not big box stores that you serve coping with this? Because I know you sent out a list, one of your clients told me, sent out a list apologizing for having to raise prices again. How are you all getting through this?
Well, we have to raise our price to reflect our new costs. And since February, which was our first price increase in quite some time, we've implemented 3 price increases to the tune of almost 50%. So a store that was paying $100 for a rack a year ago is now paying 50% more. It's really a shame, but this is the direction we're headed, and we're in an inflationary time.
So they're raising prices, right? I assume they have to raise prices.
Absolutely. Now we are getting pushback from the big, the big retailers like Amazon and Grainger and Walmart, and subsequently we have had to take our listings down because I just don't want to be a charity and sell every order at a loss. So I don't know what their alternative is, but we want to get profitable business, not bad.
What do you mean,
business.
Barry, you took your listings down? What do you mean?
We zeroed out our inventory for those companies. If you went on Amazon looking for a rack or brackets or shelving, you will not find Econoco products today. And so we are waiting because they're squeezing the little guy. They want us to absorb all the cost increases, and so they can sell at very low prices, and we're not willing to do that like many other manufacturers. The biggest
Barry, you seem more upbeat than I would expect somebody facing these type of business problems to be. So you must have some tricks up your sleeve and some ideas about how you're going to get through this.
Well, frankly, I am upbeat. I'm cautiously optimistic about the future, but we are facing tremendous headwinds. In 2016 and 17, you had dozens and dozens of retail bankruptcies on companies that everyone knows. In 2018 and 19, Trump implemented 25% tariffs on products imported from China. In 2020, we had the pandemic, and now in 2021, we have the tenfold increase in ocean freight rates. So my goodness, what's happened? we're trying to manage our business closely. We've seen many competitors not be able to survive, so we are picking up new customers. I hate to use the last man standing strategy, but there's a certain element to that. We have also gone into a new space. We're now in the cannabis space, supplying all these new vape shops and cannabis stores that are opening around the country as the cannabis market becomes legal state by state. So we have a new brand called DisplayDispensary.com, and we're seeing a lot of activity there. So
how did that new revenue stream come about?
With all the retail bankruptcies, the shrinking of the retail footprints, look at the malls, there's so much open space. We said, well, what area of retail is not facing this debacle? I mean, the apparel stores, fashion retail as it's known, has taken the biggest hit. But there are, grocery chains have expanded, the big box stores have expanded, their sales have increased. But what niche has a bright spot? And it's cannabis. Now, I thought I was done with this back in college, but who would have thunk it? Now you've got 13 states that have recreational cannabis legal, starting out on the West Coast, and I think we were late to the dance, but we are hoping to build our brand as New York and New Jersey and Connecticut, Michigan, Illinois. They're handing out licenses, and at some point stores will open. And if it's anything like Colorado or Washington State, you're going to have 2 or 3 cannabis stores on every block. I don't know what that's going to look like or what it's going to mean for our daily lives, but it's coming.
Right. And Barry, back onto the retail though, because that's your main business, you have to be trying new sales techniques right now. Is there anything that you find is working for your clients that you can help and adjust? We're talking about inventory before, but you have to be looking at what sales techniques are working so that you can continue in that space and continue to sell to Amazon. Is there anything that shows a glimmer of hope in this pandemic economy?
Well, there are chains out there, particularly in the hard goods sector, that are expanding and remodeling. And we have a team of salespeople, 7 outside salespeople that are calling on the big buyers. We also we sell to independent retailers through a network of distributors. So what's happening in that market is a lot of it has gone online. I had a salesperson that for years was trying to get into Banana Republic and get an appointment, and we got crickets, nothing. And all of a sudden, they're buying 1,000 racks online from a small little distributor on the East Coast that has 7 people working for them. And meanwhile, I'm spending all this money with salespeople trying to get into the waiting room. I mean, it's crazy. What's happening is the buyers are getting younger and they are using the internet for basic purchases. There's a lot less salespeople that are meeting at offices, particularly during the pandemic. Obviously, offices are closed, so you can't go there. Nobody's taking anyone to lunch or to dinner or to ball games. That's not happening anymore. So it's all been done digitally. So this is the direction we've taken. We've upgraded 4 websites, doing digital advertising, and we're hoping to just stay the course and follow the money, the chains that are expanding.
Barry, this is why we love talking to business owners like you, because you're full of solutions, you have endless ideas, your experience and enjoyment, if I may say, of your business clearly come through. And we'll talk to you again when you and we get through this. Okay, Barry?
Terrific. Thanks so much, Joe.